Welcome to the Breakdown Live then here at Emirates Stadium as we get set for another tough test. Wolves the visitors, but off the back of a 6-0 win in the Champions League. What better preparation, Adrian Clarke, could we have?
Well, it's perfect, wasn't it? I mean, it was an absolute joy to be here the other night. 5-0 up at half-time. I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. It's the first time, I think, at Emirates Stadium we've certainly been 5-0 up at the break. So, no, it was glorious. A lot of people had said, wow, Arsenal haven't clicked yet as an attacking force. Well, we did click against Lens, and hopefully that will take us into today's game and that we can really go at Wolves and have a bit of fun. They're a tough team. I think that they're quite bold, quite adventurous. They'll cause us more problems than Lens, in my opinion, but they do leave holes at the back, so hopefully we're in for a game of goals. Yeah,
I reckon we'll see a different type of game, though, because, you know, the difference between the Premier League teams and the Champions League teams has been stark, hasn't it?
Oh, massive, yeah. I mean, the Champions League teams just sort of let us play a little bit softer in terms of their approach. They want to play the football, but they've given us more space and they've been less physical. Wolves are arguably the most physical team in the Premier League. We'll get to that later on the Breakdown Live. So they will try and disrupt us a lot more than the Champions League opponents have done so far. But they have got a couple of key players suspended today, Wolves, so which might play in our favour.
Yeah, good news. Right, let me just run you through the Arsenal team if you've not managed to have a look at our starting 11 just yet. I mean, I guess the quickest way of saying it is unchanged from the Lens game. So David Raya in goal, then a back four of Tomiyasu, Gabriel Saliba and Zinchenko. Midfield three of Rice, Ødegaard and Havertz, and then the front three, as always, Saka, Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. So, I mean, I guess there's not loads to talk about, but the talking point is we are unchanged.
Well, you say as always, but it hasn't really been the case, has it, this season? I mean, that front five, if you're going to include Ødegaard and Havertz as part of the front five, hadn't started a game together all season until the other night. And what happened? They'd all scored by half-time. So, I mean, that bodes pretty well. What I like is Havertz in the team with Jesus, because I think that Havertz is a kind of a natural striker as well. So when Jesus goes walkabout, when he goes roaming, Havertz can step in and be that target. So, and we saw we've seen in the last couple of games, he's pretty good at ghosting into the area to make things happen. So, yeah, now that we've got a more confident Kai Havertz, I think it's great news for the team.
Yeah, I mean, the fans have been willing it for so long, us included, you know. We know how good Kai Havertz can be. It's just sometimes when you'll know more than me as a former player yourself, sometimes when it's not going right, it's just not going right.
Yeah, things can get into your head, you start to get a bit tense, it's like, and then you try and play things safe because you don't want to make a mistake. If you're lacking confidence, you sort of even worried about doing the basic things. So what we've noticed the last couple of games, he's gambled a bit more, he's got himself into better positions, and he's made things happen, and there's nothing to be scared about as far as Kai is concerned. We all love him, we want him to shine, and he has shone in his last couple of appearances. Hopefully today he'll score in 3 in a row. That'd be nice.
And just before we get our global gooners on, just a word on the defence. Obviously, clean sheet the other night. I mean, this is Mikel Arteta's current first choice, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but it's harsh on Ben White, no doubt about that. But this is the number one defence. We've got Rice in front, of course. I mean, most clean sheets in the division, fewest goals conceded. We're solid, and that's great because we know we're going to score goals. So if you could I think if you marry those two things together, you've got yourself a decent team. And I'm as confident now as I was last year when we were top of the league and with more points, scoring more goals. I'm actually probably slightly more confident now.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get our first guests in then. As I say, we love the global representation here on the show, often meeting gooners from all around the world, different supporters clubs, and that's no different today. From Arsenal, Slovenia, please welcome Alvin and Uros. Come on in, guys. They've even got the memorabilia. Jump in the middle. Jump in the middle.
Hello. How are we going? Who are we speaking to? What's your name?
It's Alvin.
And we've got Uros, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what do we have here then? What's this?
This is our banner. Arsenal Slovenia 2009 is our year.
Is it displayed somewhere in the stadium, the banner?
Yeah. It's there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah. You're quite close to where we're sitting, actually. Yeah.
Yes, it's photo of Mikel Arteta is everywhere.
Yeah, brilliant. So, okay, so we know that we're really big in Asia. We're really big, in the United States of America, but we didn't know we're that big in Slovenia. How many Gooners are out there?
Well, we're not as big as Asians, of course, but there are about 130 members at the moment, and
approximately every year we have 100 plus, so it's quite good for such a small country.
It's very good, yeah.
It's a beautiful country as well. I've been to Ljubljana before. Very, very nice. Is that where you guys are based, and do you meet somewhere in Ljubljana to watch games?
Yeah, the main base is in Ljubljana, the capital city, but we meet in other smaller cities.
So you're over today.
I love this.
How often do you get the chance to come here to Emirates Stadium to watch the first team in action?
Well, thankfully we get tickets for every home game, so usually we have members over for like 80% of the home games. And today there are 29 of us because we have a special option, and we want to thank Arsenal for this, because it's a great experience, especially for those who come here first time, and it's much easier for them, and they enjoy it every moment.
And just for you both, why when you're living in Slovenia, why Arsenal? What was it about Arsenal that attracted you both to the club?
I think it's about the history of Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp. I think it's the most of us for this reason. Yeah, it's a beautiful football, and Arsene Wenger and everything.
For me, it's quite simple. It's Dennis Bergkamp, and that's it. It's nothing more to add.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was privileged to play alongside Dennis Bergkamp.
Stop it.
I'm dining out on that forever. I'm sorry. I'm going to bang on about it forever. I played with Dennis Bergkamp. But he was just a legend, and I think he's inspired a lot of fans from around the world.
I'd agree. We need a prediction from you both, though, before we let you go. What do you think the score is going to be today?
3-0 to Arsenal.
We like that. 3-0 over here.
3-1.
3-1. All right. Well, listen, guys, enjoy the game. It's great to have you with us. Take care.
All the best. Yeah, enjoy the game.
Take care. Love that. Even brought the banner.
I know. It's keen. I love it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I've seen it before, but that's fantastic.
It's funny because it's pretty much underneath where we sit, and that's probably why I was like, "Is there a banner here?"
It's just great that the club are accommodating the supporters clubs at different games this season. Allowing them those block bookings. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we're going to meet people now. A couple of guests now who are going to tell us about something really great that the club have been a part of. Actually, so we've got Richie Parker and his brother Gareth, as well as another Richie, huge Gooners. But the club has been doing a lot of work to make match days more accessible for visually impaired fans, and we're going to hear about it now. So let's get the guys in. Let's just bring them in. Step in, jump in the middle.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Jump in the middle, just there. Right. I'll try and kind of use my long arm to reach across to all of you with the mic. But it's great to have you guys with us today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Well, Rick, do you get down to the Emirates often, Rich? Let me know.
Come every go.
We like that.
I love it.
Just get him in the box with us, Clarke.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us about this See Sport Differently document, the guidelines for how clubs across the country need to look after the visually impaired supporters. Tell us about your part in that.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Gareth Davis. I work for the Royal National Institute of Blind People. I'm actually registered blind myself, and I'm one of the people in RNIB who wrote the guidance. Basically what it is, we've worked with clubs, Arsenal being one of the key clubs, to speak with blind and partially sighted fans to find out what the issues are when it comes to a game. Then we've worked with clubs like Arsenal who've been identified as already doing best practice to solve the issues, and we put that together in one document that's going to be shared across the Premier League and the English Football League, and also further beyond, so more blind and partially sighted fans feel they can come to games.
They're going to get a better experience on the back of this because you've canvassed a lot of opinions, I guess. Yeah.
We want them to have the most exciting possible matchday experience like everybody else.
And how does Arsenal compare to some of the other clubs in the Premier League in terms of the way they look after the blind supporters?
What Arsenal do is exemplary, and that's why we came to them to seek their knowledge and their guidance so that other clubs within the Premiership and beyond can learn from Arsenal amongst some other clubs.
And Rich, you're experiencing some good stuff this season as well. You had some good results.
Yeah, we have.
How confident are you feeling this season? Because me and Clarke were just having a chat. He's feeling incredibly confident off the back of a 6-0 win against Lons.
Midweek, yeah. I was actually on your link because I didn't come on Wednesday.
Oh, so you were like tuned into the breakdown live?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Love it.
We love that. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, listen, guys.
You when I'm not there, so yeah.
Perfect. Someone clip that out, the perfect advert for the show. We've got to get a prediction from each of you. What do we think the score is going to be today?
3-0.
Got another 3-0.
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
What are we gonna go?
2-0.
2-0 over there.
3-1.
3-1, another 3-1er. Yeah, we like that.
Yeah.
All to Arsenal, I assume. just checking. Right, well, listen, guys, wait there for the time being because me and Clarke need to head upstairs. But just before we do, I've got a quiz question that me and Clarke... I'm calling it Clarke's question. A quiz question that I'm going to throw out there. Don't answer it, but you can tell us once we go off air. But the question today is, which Breakdown Live regular had a loan spell at Wolves in 05-06? So which Breakdown Live regular had a loan spell at Wolves in 2005-2006? Whilst you think about that, and whilst me and Clarke get upstairs and into the warm, Mikel Arteta sat down with the press ahead of this one, and here's what he had to say.
Top of the Premier League again. Do you feel like you've got the squad depth needed to stay there this time?
Time will tell. We have another big one now against Wolves, a very difficult team to play against. They have shown against the top teams as well what they're capable of, and I know the preparation has been focused and understanding what we have to do tomorrow to win the game.
Kai Havertz has now scored in back-to-back games, and you spoke about the fact his confidence is growing. What have you been doing and the club been doing to get him to the level that you know he can perform at?
First of all, support him like with any other player, and then give him the tools and the time to excel his qualities. And I think that's what he's doing. Everything has started to come together. A lot of things that he was doing right, he continues to do so. And now, obviously, in front of goal, he's been very efficient.
We understand the club are in talks with Takahiro and Ben White about extending their time at the club. Is that part of the wider strategy of trying to keep your key players, the nucleus, together for the next 3 or 4 years and beyond?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing in the last few years, apart of strengthening the squad as well, rewards and have more stability in the squad, and those decisions are very important, obviously.
And you come up against Wolves tomorrow. Gary O'Neill spoke on Monday and said that referees' decisions are affecting reputations and livelihoods. Do you have some sympathy with some of the decisions that have gone against Wolves this year?
I have sympathy with all my colleagues because I know how beautiful, at the same time how challenging our job is, and the exposure that we have, and those moments in front of the cameras are not easy ones, and you see that in many situations already this season and last season, and yeah, we're here to make the game better, to make our clubs better, and we all need to win to do that.
IFAB had a meeting earlier this week, and they're going to have some more trials when it comes to sin bins. Is that something that you'd like to see in football?
I don't know. As you said, it has to be tried. I think it's a long shot still, and we'll see what we get from there.
And finally, for me, any fresh injury concerns following the game on Wednesday?
No, I don't think we're going to get anybody back still, and we didn't have any incidents, so all good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
4 wins in a row, 12 goals scored, just 1 conceded. Some might say your midweek win was close to perfection. Do you feel you're approaching your peak performance, or is there yet another level to come from you?
I think there is more levels to come, and I hope so. And we have to continue to do a lot of the things that we're doing really well in games to earn the right to win, but I think we can still improve and be more consistent.
Well, looking at the fixtures this weekend, you play tomorrow, but your closest rivals are in action until Sunday. So with that in mind, by Saturday night, you could be 4 points clear at the top of the table, of course. Does that, I wonder, give you an extra edge by putting the onus on your opponents to respond to what you do at the weekend?
We can control what we can do, and ifs in this league, I learned that they are not a very positive thing to have in mind. We are really hungry to play in front of our crowd tomorrow and win the game, and this is what we are going to try to do.
So Wolves up next, of course. They come to the Emirates with a good result against some of the bigger sides, already beating Man City and Tottenham so far this season. What sort of a challenge are you expecting from Gary O'Neill's side?
Yeah, it's very prepared. Obviously, they have a lot of quality over the field. It's not a coincidence what they are doing, and they perform really well, especially against the top side as well. And that talks highly about the quality of the coaching staff, what Gary is doing, the way they have prepared and control opponents, difficult opponents, especially when they play at home. So we're going to have to try to break them down tomorrow.
Perhaps not surprisingly, teams may well come to the Emirates with a tendency to set up defensively against you. I just wonder, how do you go about countering that?
Well, giving players tools, ideas, and understanding what we have to do, the game that we want to play. then, as I mentioned before, it's about the efficiency that we showed in that last part of the part that dictates the outcome of the game. And the other night we were very, very efficient on that.
Yeah, the games are coming thick and fast. I know you're not the only ones with a full-on fixture list, but how much of a challenge is it managing the demands of 3 games in a week?
That's the beauty of it, though. When we wanted to be in that position, and we are playing big games every 3 days, and the squad is ready. The players are hungry to play every single game. They are disappointed when we have to rest them to manage minutes. That's a really good sign.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
When you look at what Gary said after the game on Monday night, and then obviously with the Newcastle handball and Eddie Howe's comments after the game, is that at the moment, do you think, the VAR controversies and anything like that, the one thing that all managers are having to deal with more than anything else?
I have enough in my garden.
And then we look at we've got Ben and Shakira Tomiyasu obviously closing in on hopefully signing new deals. When you first came to the club, there were players leaving at end of contracts. There were players whose contracts were cancelled and the players were paid off. But when you look over the last year with Odegaard, Saliba, Saka, Martinelli, probably even more than that, having those deals done, does that organisation off the pitch just help you plan and work better on the pitch?
It does, and as well because those players have deserved with performances the way they behaved, and new deals, and as well it gives us stability. They are in a brilliant age as well. There is still much more to come from them, and that was the initial plan. But it's something that they have earned, that has made the squad much stronger, and as well credit to Edu, to the board, everybody that planned as well those sequences to get them in the right time to keep evolving the squad in the right way.
It's no coincidence, I guess, then that infrastructure from top to bottom leads to a team finishing second in the Premier League and fighting for trophies.
For sure. Without top players, without a top quality squad in this league, the demands that we have is impossible to do it, and that's what we are trying to build and evolve and be better and be more precise as well with what we need to make a big impact with those decisions.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on VAR, is that something you've talked to other managers about? Is it something you discuss with other coaches?
Yeah, it's a topic that it comes up for sure. We talk about many things, but that's one of those as well, because at the end, it has a huge impact on results, and our job depends on that.
What kind of stuff is it? I'm not expecting you to give me the exact detail of the conversation, but is it sort of positive things, negative things?
All
like
very positive,
improving?
yeah.
All very positive. And just, you spoke a lot before the Lens game about game state and how important that's going to be. It's obviously going to be a very different game this weekend against Wolves. They're going to set up very differently. Do you think it's also, maybe Arsenal fans shouldn't be getting their hopes up to see a similar fluidity in terms of the attack, or is that unrealistic?
It will be different. It won't be the same, and we cannot expect the same. And this team is going to be different to last season, and hopefully very different to the season next. And that's part of the evolution, and leaving some of the things that are in the past to the new thing, and that has a transition, And we want to still be competitive and win matches, and I think the team is competing really well.
Thanks.
Hi, Mikel. Just going back to Kai quickly. I mean, it's obviously been a really huge week for him. The last-minute winner last week, scoring the first goal this week to sort of set the ball rolling in the Champions League. Have you noticed a difference in him here? Has there been almost like a weight off his shoulders? Does he look and feel like a freer player?
Not really. He's been very positive, and he's been so influential in the good way to his teammates and the team. But obviously his confidence grows. He's really looking forward to something. When you feel loved, when you feel respected, and when you feel admired, things are much easier. Your energy is better, your body language is better, and I think that's the way he's felt in the last few days.
There we go then, the thoughts of the gaffer ahead of this one. We have come to the My Arsenal Awards box with our lovely studio audience who are, I say it every week, the best looking one we've had.
I'm not so sure.
Outrageous, that is.
Hey, it's bring your family to work day for me.
Yeah. Evie's even in the Stella McCartney.
I know, you can't get them anymore.
Yeah, but when you're Adrian Clarke, you've got connections.
We got in there very, very early doors, didn't we? Mead 9 on the back as well.
Whoa, we like that.
Top player.
Future Arsenal players over there. Right, the trivia. Clarke's question. Yes. I'm still going to pursue with that. Clarke's question, if you missed it, I'll repeat it and we'll see if anyone in here knows the answer to it. Which Breakdown Live regular had a loan spell at Wolves in the 2005-2006 season? Does anyone in here know the answer to that question? You'll be kicking yourselves.
Yeah. Does anyone watch the breakdown live?
Yeah. You'll be absolutely kicking yourselves. Who is it, Clarke?
It is Jeremy Aliadier.
Yeah.
Regular commentator. Yeah. So he had a brief time at Wolves, didn't he?
Yeah.
So,
he bounced about a little bit, didn't he? Was he at Celtic?
He was at Celtic for a little bit, and then he went sort of globe trotting after
Yeah,
that, didn't he?
yeah.
He went back to France, and he played over in Asia. So he had quite a colourful career.
Yeah, he played in Qatar, I think it was,
That's it, yeah.
which is impressive. Right, anyway, we've got our studio audience here with us now. We're going to get the My Arsenal Rewards voucher code up on the screen now, which you guys in here and you watching at home, there's the code on there. You can stick that code into the portal. You can earn yourself 100 points for this game. And
Very
then you
nice.
can points win prizes and all of that. You can use those points to be here in the studio audience with us.
Yeah, get involved.
Right, just whilst we wait on the arrival of our first guest, let's talk about what happened here on Wednesday, Clarke, because it was brilliant to watch.
It was fantastic. It was great football. Really, really good football. Fluent stuff. Lons defended really badly, but the way that we sort of flew down the wings was glorious. I thought our finishing was tremendous. Obviously, Martinelli bending one into the far corner was maybe the pick of the bunch. But yeah, some fast, fluid, attacking football. For me, we played to our capability. You know, we all know that we're good enough to play that way on a regular basis. It's just been harder, hasn't it? Because teams have been so defensive against us, so physical. I think they're showing us a lot more respect this season. It's tough to grind open a lot of Premier League outfits, but we didn't have any issues against Lons, did we? It was. I mean, I've just never been. I don't think I've ever seen Arsenal 5-0 up at half time. We're all in a state of shock, really.
Yeah, we'll see the goals in a sec because I know everybody wants to relive the goals. But first, we should get our first guest on, and it's a big one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a big one. He's someone that a lot of fans cannot wait to see back in the famous red and white here at the Emirates Stadium. Let's make some noise for Jurrien Timber! Good to see you, man.
Nice to
Jump in the middle. It's good to see you walking well as well. Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I can't complain about my rehab, to be honest. I'm progressing well, recovering well, and having fun with the team as well.
Yeah, brilliant. I saw the video of you doing some exercises in the week, and it's got a lot of the fans excited.
That's only a small part, to be honest.
Yeah, but you were moving nicely. You're feeling good about the comeback, because a lot of us were fearing you were going to be out maybe for the whole season, but it appears you're making good progress.
I'm making good progress. Yeah, it won't be the whole season, I hope, but no, it's going well. It's hard at the same time, but doing my best, working hard, and just enjoying while I'm busy.
Superb. And how have you settled in with the boys?
Yeah.
Because obviously you had a bit of the pre-season. I'm sure you started to really feel part of it. You were excellent during pre-season. Then all of a sudden it stops, and you're not out there training. Are the boys still keeping you involved? You still
Yeah. To be honest, that makes it easier as well, because I see them every day on the training ground, and I basically train the same time as them. So I see them every day. Makes it easy. The boys are fun. It's a young squad, and even the older guys are fun. So I stay connected with them, and I see them every day. So for me, that makes it so much easier to do my rehab well.
Perfect. What about the lifestyle side of things? Because you moved from a great city in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You're playing at Ajax, but London in itself is an amazing place to live.
Yeah.
How have you found settling in?
Pretty easy, to be honest, because I'm injured. I have more time to settle in London. And that's another thing. It's not hard to settle in London, to be honest.
Your English is
Amsterdam,
brilliant as
Amsterdam is a fun city. It's a nice city, but London is something different. So it's amazing.
And I'm guessing you've been to watch a lot of the games here this season. Obviously, you played in the first one. What do you think of the atmosphere here? How's it compared? Because obviously the Ajax Stadium is fantastic. Big ground. But the Arsenal supporters are getting a reputation. We used to get a lot of stick here. I don't even know this. They used to say it was like a library. It was too quiet.
I heard,
Yeah, but what's your impression of it?
I don't have that feeling, to be honest. I think it's amazing every game again. And of course, the Champions League nights are back. So for me, but I think for everyone, it's a new thing a bit here at the Emirates. But no, I'm enjoying every game, even though I'm not playing. I'm really enjoying it, and the fans are amazing. yeah, the team is performing well.
It feels like a family, like more so now. We've talked about this a lot on the show, about, a few years ago it was a little bit detached, but it feels like the team, the manager and the fans are all together now. I mean, do you get that vibe yourself as a player? Do you feel the love from the fans?
I get the vibe, yeah. I heard it was not like that a couple of years ago. So, no, the moment I stepped in, I noticed it immediately, how warm the club is, how the connection is between the players and, yes, the club and the fans. Yeah, it's really well, it's really good. And it's nice to be part of, obviously. I think the moment I came in, the first thing I noticed was that you just don't have a lot of egos in this team. I say not a lot, but I think no one has like a big ego, and at the same time everyone is performing. So I think that was the first thing that surprised me when I came into this group. And it's still the same thing. I think everyone is still humble and hungry.
Good friendship groups as well, I'd imagine. It seems like, because not every team, you don't have to all be best mates, but it seems like you all get on.
I have the feeling, yeah. I don't know if the other guys have the same feeling as me, but I do.
Behind your back.
Have you got a best pal? Is there anyone you hang out with more than others?
It's so hard. If I'm going to say a name, it's...
Someone else is going to get upset.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like your top friends on MySpace back in the day, Clarke. You'll remember that.
I'll leave that for later.
I bet you can't wait though, and we can't wait to see you, playing alongside again. Big Gabby, Saliba, Tommy as well, Zinchenko. The defence has been pretty amazing here at Arsenal, and you're going to be a part of that. That must excite you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. I played a couple of games already. It was fantastic, so I cannot wait to play again.
Yeah. Can I be cheeky? Because I know you've got to go now, but can we get a minute to win it off you? What minute is the first goal going to be scored in the game?
Today?
Today, yeah.
Oh, I think the 9th.
9th?
Yeah.
It's going early doors.
No one else has gone for 9, so...
I know.
Yeah, look, you've got to be within 5 to go top of the leaderboard. Yeah, it's very, very competitive.
All right,
yeah.
Well, listen, best of luck with the rehab. It was so great having you on the show.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, and let's hear it, everybody, for Jurrien Timber. I mean, what a guy. And as first team players go, it's a debut.
Look at this.
Handing out.
He's even got some sign stuff.
Yeah, we can probably get that on one of the cameras in a minute.
Got a little boy over here who'd like one of those, yeah. Oh, look at this.
I want one of those now.
Jurrien is a man of the people, yeah.
It wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
That's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I want it. Oh, that's brilliant. Thanks, Jurrien.
We can maybe stick it up on the wall somewhere.
Look at that. Yeah. Sign pictures. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, my favourite thing about the way you were holding that is you look like a competition winner. But yeah, I mean, he's the first team player we've had on the show, and
hopefully it's the first of many. First of many. We don't want players to be out injured. But if they're at the ground and they're at a loose end, they're always welcome here in the Breakdown Live box. And yeah, it was good. It was good to speak to him. And obviously, we here at the club we don't really talk about return dates. It's just not the sort of club policy in regard. Don't want to put a label on it, but it does appear that he's coming along very nicely.
Progress is good.
Hopefully, not too far into the new year, we might see him back out there on the pitch again, which would be awesome. Yeah.
He looked brilliant when he played, didn't he? I mean, it's going to be such a boost. I mean, the old Arsene Wenger like a new signing, but he kind of is a new signing. But you know what I mean? It's going to be amazing.
He's a class player, is he? I don't know what you guys think. I mean, he looks so versatile. He can play left back, right back, centre half. I mean, he's not the biggest, was he? No. He was, a little bit taller than me, but not huge for a centre back. But he can play there as well. I think he's going to be a brilliant signing. Yeah. It's just that everything's on hold, isn't it?
Agreed. Right, we were talking Lons before we were rudely interrupted. That can keep happening, believe me. Right, let's have a look at the goals. Here we go.
Yeah, it was the lightning fast start, wasn't it? And Havertz just sort of goes into the box to score. He doesn't start, does he? We were fed the wrong info on the team sheet.
Duff
information. It's Trossard for Havertz today. That's the only change. But I'm sure he'll come on and make a difference. Here, Saka just so strong. Yeah. Bundles a couple of players out of the way. That's just nice. I love that from Jesus. It's a beautiful little dummy. Look, watch this. See the defender slide past him. Absolute class. And he just passes it, doesn't he? He didn't try and whack it into the back of the net. Went down well with the gaffer. Here we went long. That was quite a theme of the night from goal kicks.
Yeah, Wright's distribution was good on the night, wasn't it?
It was really good. And Saka just following in.
Right place, right time.
He didn't know too much about that one. It just came off his chest, didn't it? But it was not the best goalkeeper. But it was a really good counter attack. here again. I'm not sure if a Tomiyasu meant that pass or not, but it was a cracker. and so what about this for a finish? You know, this he just waits, bang.
Lovely.
You're not stopping those. I mean, you look at it from a certain angle. I don't know. You look here. It's curling outside the post, and it just comes in at the last minute. This was a big counter attack towards the end. Tomiyasu, I thought had a great first half.
Yeah.
I thought he was magnificent.
That's such a great finish.
And then Ødegaard, I think he just lashed it, didn't he? Just thought, I'm gonna have a bit of fun with this. See how hard I can spank it.
Just a lovely connection, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we get a sort of soft penalty in the second half, and what I thought was nice here was that Ødegaard gave it to Jorginho, because Jorginho had missed one, hadn't he, for Italy, and I think he'd got a lot of criticism for that. And I mean, it was a pen. It hit his arm. It could have been a foul or a handball, couldn't it? But they gave it to Jorginho, and he became our 15th different goal scorer this season in all competitions. City have had 8 different goal scorers. Now I know it's not the be all and end all, but they rely a lot on Erling Haaland, as we know. He's a brilliant player, and we'd love him or someone like him. But because we haven't got him, or we haven't got a Salah that scores tons and tons, we have to spread it. But 15, you know, before December, I think is incredible.
Yeah.
So well done to everyone.
And it means that we've topped the group with a game to spare. I mean, if you would have asked me this after the Lens away game, I would have thought it's going all the way to match day 6.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, we've done the business.
Yeah, exactly. It was routine. We had the setback over in Lens, but the home games have all been great, haven't they? Really, really enjoyed them, and we've won them comfortably. So yeah, look, I think you guys might not have seen the show the other day. We had the supercomputer. Supercomputer was on the screen, and it was saying that we're 4th or 5th favourites for the Champions League, which kind of still blows my mind considering we were not in it for so long. But the way that we've coasted through that group, I think, showcases that we're worthy of that status. We are up there with the biggest clubs in Europe at the moment, and I think we've scored more goals than anyone across the group phase, which is just sensational, really.
Yeah, and the potential away days, they're looking. I mean, it's not decided yet, because obviously there's another match day to go. But you know, the teams we could potentially face.
Yeah, I think there'll be a draw just before Christmas, won't there? But yeah, there's a whole raft of teams. A lot of Italian teams that we could get. Obviously, we could get Inter, AC, Lazio. There's another team in there that's got Napoli as well. Their possibilities: Copenhagen, Galatasaray, Atletico Madrid. There are a number of options there. But I looked at them all and I thought, well, I think we'll be favourites to beat any of those, actually. So look, we're well placed. I think we're more than capable of getting to the quarterfinals. And if you get to the quarterfinals, hopefully, you just need a bit of luck, don't you, with the draw and with the way those matches turn out. But we could go all the way. It's not impossible. It's absolutely not impossible.
On a selfish one, though, off the pitch, because we're taking the show to the away day.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Where would you like to go?
Oh, I mean, all of those places, really. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be fussy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think Copenhagen or Istanbul for me. I'd quite
Istanbul would be quite nice. Yeah, that would be. And I'd like to savour the atmosphere over there in that stadium, because it's pretty fiery. So yeah, I'd probably go for Istanbul, but look, I'm not fussed.
Yeah.
Whoever we get, and yeah, I look forward to the trip.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a couple of guests on. I think from the band Kid Capici. Let's hear it for Jack and Eddie. Jump in the middle. Good to see you. Good to see you. Jump in the middle. Yeah. How are we feeling then today? Look, I like the clobber.
Mate, we got gifted it, but I was.
Right.
I showed up in Burberry. I leave in red and white. I'm happy. No, I'm good. I'm confident. I'm extremely confident. Top of the league. Top of the table. We're going. It's going to be a good.
To come up, didn't we?
It's going to be a good game. We're excited.
It's hard not to be confident at the minute, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? We've been talking about it. 6-0 in the Champions League, qualified with a game to spare. The team's starting to click at the perfect time.
It's amazing. It's like I've followed Arsenal my whole life, and I've been here so many times, and this is the first time I've had the time to come back in years, because we've been so busy, and it's just such an exciting time to be in the stadium. I can't think of a better time to be. So I just love this team so much.
do you both get down much? Obviously, you're here today.
This first time I've been here, I've been to Highbury quite a few times back in the day, but now I'm back, so yeah. But he's the diehard.
Yeah, I'm the diehard.
When you were kids, were you dreaming of being footballers, or were you dreaming of being rock
Well,
stars?
I knew I wasn't.
I was a footballer, and I turned up with a Guns N' Roses shirt on under my thing, and the coach was like, "Yeah, you should just leave, mate." I was useless.
Yeah, I was always. I think I've cared more about football than I care about music. So I would have, but if I was never anywhere near good enough to be a
see
footballer.
that one of your videos, you were having a kick around. Is that right?
Yeah, we just done that at our local team, Hastings United. Did it in the stadium, the whole video. So yeah,
we've been
kits on stage and stuff. So.
We've been working with Hastings United and done a few videos there and done some shirts and stuff with them. So anything we can do to involve music and football, we're always happy.
You know what the goal is then? You need to record a video out there.
We'll get there. We'll have a word with Alex Turner and the Artie Monkeys and get back.
Get it sorted. So your local Premier League team, so you're from Hastings.
Yeah.
Local, it will probably be Brighton. You know.
We don't talk.
Why Arsenal then? What's the story?
For me, it was just school and then my brothers as well. And then I don't know.
I didn't have a choice whether I liked it or not. Yeah, my two cousins, Matt and Nick, they've always been huge Arsenal fans, and I remember the first game I went to go see Arsenal Portsmouth at Fratton Park, thrilling 0-0. But yeah, just from that, I've just always been hooked. I just never had a choice. How can you when it's Arsenal, the best team in the world?
Yeah. Who's the best player in the best team in the world then?
Saka.
Yeah, we both can say that.
Yeah, like I'm obsessed with the guy. I'm like, where is he? What an inspiration that kid is. You know, it's amazing. I love him so much.
You just missed Jurrien Timber.
I know.
In the box. Should have got here early.
I heard. I was like, what's Timber here?
Yeah.
Meet him in a minute.
Yeah.
It was a big surprise for everybody. Right, before we let you go, we've got to get a minute to win it from you both. So that's basically what minute do you think the first goal in this game is going to be scored?
Okay.
21st. I'm feeling it. Yeah, 21st minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7th.
Okay. Right, so you need to be within 5 to go top of the league.
Okay, cool. I'm going to say 7th. Is 7th already been picked?
No, it doesn't. It's all to do with how close you are.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll stick with 7. Lucky number 7. It's already, okay, 8.
8 and 21.
Yeah, that's good with me.
Right, okay. Right, let's hear it for the boys. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's getting tasty on the leaderboard.
It's getting quite competitive, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just looking. Stephen Hughes is the highest ex-player. He got within 6, didn't he? Who else?
I'm surprised you've not been allowed
Mikel
to have a go.
Sylvester, Kolo Touré's on there. Yeah, we've had some great guests, haven't we? Poor old Liam Brady's towards the bottom there.
We're going to have Timber on there as well, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was good. It was good to meet the boys, and you can just tell they're proper passionate supporters.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of their videos on YouTube when I knew that they were coming on, and yeah, it's good music to be fair, and you just tell that they love football. Loads of their lyrics are football related.
Yeah. They're probably really jealous of Louis, who North London Forever gets played out around the stadium. That's the aim. Try to get into Mikel Arteta's kind of playlist, so you can be the next one. Right. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's do the number. The number today, Clarke, is the number 50.
Yeah, number 50. It's all about the month of December. Obviously, it's the first game of December. We've won 50% of our Premier League games in December in the era of the Premier League. And I thought that's quite good, 50% win rate. But it's actually our third weakest month. Our weakest month is November. Then it's January. And then it's December. So it's basically during the winter months, that's maybe where historically Arsenal have dropped more points than we usually do, or we've lost more or we haven't won as many matches. But the good news is, last year, we only had 2 because of the World Cup. We won them both, and we'd won the previous 4. So December is becoming a lucky month. And I'll tell you what, if we have a great December this time around, we're going to be top at Christmas, top at New Year, and that's quite an exciting place to be, isn't it? And I think, even though we've got a few tricky games later in the month, I think it's doable.
Just as, like the boys were saying, it's so exciting to be an Arsenal fan now, and we mentioned this quite a lot last season, sometimes because last season was so intense and every game felt, like a cup final. It was hard to enjoy it at times, but when you look back, what this team's achieved since Mikel Arteta took over, really, it's phenomenal.
It is. Are we all a bit more laid back this time around? Is that? Yeah.
I actually got asked outside the stadium, by someone not doing a good job as you guys, obviously, but how do I think we're going to win the league? And I said last season I was so excited about winning the league, but I was so tense about it as well. And I think going through that experience, it's like a bit more enjoyable now and a bit more steady and a bit more calm, whereas last season was just like the most exciting and also like horrible thing every week. So yeah,
but because we know that being top for a prolonged period doesn't mean you're going to win the league, I think we're all a little bit more, you scale it back a little bit, don't you? And it's more, well, it doesn't matter if we're top or not right now. It's about timing the run, isn't it, to perfection? And hopefully that's what we're doing, because I think it's the general perception is that we can get better. Timber, for example, we've seen it. We've had him in here. He will improve the team. Jesus has barely played this season. He will improve the team. So, yeah, provided injuries are key. Declan Rice, Saliba, absolutely crucial, aren't they, to this team? We need those guys to stay fit.
Yeah. Speaking of someone else who's crucial to the team, Gabriel Jesus. You wanted to show some love to him. It's great to have him back in the team and fire him.
Yeah, I just think he's underrated by people because he's not Erling Haaland level of goals. People think he's some kind of second-rate striker, but he's not, is he? He's a great striker. I think he makes things happen. He is a match winner, but also a fighter. I think he fits in perfectly with the team, and he makes other players better. Absolutely no doubt about that. I think he can switch places with Trossard or Havertz today because he likes to come short, and then we've got someone else that can go in centre forward instead. Saka and Martinelli like to switch places with him as well. I just think that Jesus elevates the rest of the team. So forget the goals scored, forget it. He'll get plenty if he stays fit. But the main thing for me is that he's the catalyst for so many of the good things that we do. And I always feel we miss him. I feel we're a much more predictable team without Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because he kind of puts the fear into defenders a bit as well, doesn't he? Because he's so quick and he's so ragged with them, you know.
Roughs it up. Well, if you're a defender, right, you want to know the moves of the person you're marking. You want to know exactly where they're going to be, what they do. Because it just makes you feel comfortable. With Jesus, it's the opposite. Because he doesn't even know what he's going to do. He's very off the cuff. And when you've got off the cuff strikers who happen to be really talented, it's a defender's nightmare. Because you take your eyes off him for a second, he's gone. And physically and skillfully, he's right up there.
Should we play the Champions League music today, though? Because he seems to always score in the Champions League.
It's strange, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, he's inspired by it. He obviously likes playing under the lights, clearly. But yeah, maybe we should just chuck it in there. I don't know. If he hasn't scored at half time, just get it played over the tannoy and run out for the second half.
Yeah, definitely. Right, someone else who's having a sensational season, I think it's fair to say, is Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
And this is off the back of kind of some fans anyway saying that he struggled a bit this year, but he's still scoring and assisting. With ease.
Does anyone in here think Bukayo Saka's struggling? I mean, no, he's not, is he?
No.
Colwyn.
He's been unbelievable. Like, if you look at all the numbers, people are saying he's top in goal contributions in the Champions League. He's like almost double anybody else on our team for the season. But that's, I kind of think, what is the most exciting thing, because it's like, what could still be to come, right? If people think he's not at his best right now, he talked about it. He's getting doubled up every game. Yeah. If there can be a couple more overlaps, things like that free him up a bit, I mean, he's incredible.
He's a class player. Goals
as well. Come from Canada.
Colwyn's come from Canada. Yeah, he's a fellow broadcaster. I completely agree. And I think his goal contributions, whether they're goals or assists, have been worth 9 extra points to us over the course of this season. Here he is in all competitions. You can see it on the screen. 17 starts, 7 goals, 9 assists, 11 of those 16 goal contributions. So that's 1 a game, basically. 11 of them have come here at Emirates Stadium. So he's a player that is very much at home here. And we kind of just got used to him just delivering time after time after time, haven't we? So hopefully he does the biz again today.
Yeah, I wouldn't fancy being one of the fullbacks having to mark Bukayo. It's a lose-lose. You've got Martinelli on one side and Saka on the other. So, I don't know where I'd prefer to be.
Well, the other day, Tommy Ansu flying around the outside as well. So, they are a nightmare to contain. But for me, as a wing pair, I wouldn't swap them. I don't think I don't know. Real Madrid have got some pretty good wingers, Vinicius and Rodrigo, but I still don't think I'd swap them.
Yeah. Right, let's get another guest on, Clarke. Now, this guy is an American rapper who's been described as one of rap's most unique figures in recent history. So let's hear it for Danny Brown. Good to see you, Danny. Just jump in the middle. Good to see you. How's life? Is it your first time here at Arsenal?
No, I actually came maybe about like 2014, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, it was my first time coming. It was great.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And the team's performing well, so you've come at a good time.
It's a great time to be a gunner right now, you know? They've been killing it, man.
Yeah.
We always ask our guests, like, why Arsenal? What's the story? Why did you end up supporting us?
FIFA. I mean, but that was back. I was playing FIFA a lot, but that was back when Henry was playing. So he was like a god on there. So ever since then, I just became an Arsenal fan. Used to wake up early, got to watch the games at home.
Yeah, because we had Arsenal America on a couple of weeks ago actually. So the supporters club Arsenal America, and depending on where you're based in the States, you're getting up at crazy times in the morning to watch the games.
But it's when you're a fan and you really love the sport, it wasn't a big deal, and it always kept me focused.
Are you noticing more and more Arsenal shirts around the States? I know that obviously Man United are pretty big over there, but it feels like we're catching up.
You always had the coolest jerseys too. The colorways always.
Do you like this one?
The colorways go great with Nikes. With good sneakers. So Arsenal always had the dopest kits, man. So I always give them props for that.
And your new album, it dropped last month, Quarantana. So
Quaranta.
That's the one. My accent is shocking. I'll confess, my accent is shocking. But what's the reception been like since you dropped that?
No, it's been great. It was a real personal album. I wrote it aroround the time of quarantine, so we were all locked in. We were all locked down, so it was a real reflective moment for me. So it was great to get out, get all those feelings off my chest, and I feel better about it.
And that's part of the reason why you're in London. You've got a big show at Village Underground on Monday. It's sold out, so unless you can tap Danny up for tickets
hit me
on
up,
the way out, then
especially if you're a Gunner fan, you can roll in with me. We family.
Free tickets for the Gunners.
That's right.
I love it. Yeah. So you're going to do a show? You got a series of shows, or are you going to have a holiday, a vacation while you're over?
No, it's just promo. I mean, this is my holiday. We hang out with you guys. This right here. This is everything, man. I love coming to Emirates.
Yeah. Well, listen. Before we let you go, we got to get our game a minute to win it. So it's basically, what minute do you think the first goal will be scored in today's game?
It's going to be quick today.
Oh,
we're going quick today.
What do you reckon then? Sizing up the opposition.
Hang on, you haven't got to worry about that. That's from previous games. So just when do you think the first goal was going to be scored?
At least in the first 3 minutes, man.
So what, you're going for minute 3? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
That's the earliest one we've had. Well, listen, Danny, it's a pleasure having you here at the Emirates Stadium.
Pleasure being here, man.
Enjoy the game and enjoy your gig.
Thank you,
Thank
you guys.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it. Danny Brown, everybody.
Go Gunners.
A legend. It just goes to show, we say it all the time, Clarke, we are a truly global club, but I love that story about FIFA because there will be Arsenal fans around the world who are fans of the club because we're in alphabetical order on FIFA. Bang!
We are cool. We've always been quite a cool club. Like you say, the kit, the red, the famous red with the white sleeves. We've got that clear identity. I don't know, I've always said Arsenal's been the biggest club in London. No matter who's winning what, we are the biggest club. And London is obviously just one of the best places on the planet. Why wouldn't you want to support the best club in London?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You are right about that. I think, and I know it's easy to say it as an Arsenal fan, but even the clobber we've got on today, the Ian Wright stuff, we're just like the cool club, aren't we?
Well, you're looking a bit cooler than me.
I know you decided to go inside out on yours.
I don't think I can pull it off, and I also thought we might look a little bit silly if we had the same gear. But this is reversible, which is another nice feature. Yeah. But I mean, isn't it good as well? Like we've got Wright involved. He's a proper club legend, national treasure, and he's designing some gear that the supporters can treat themselves to for Christmas. Brilliant.
I bet this is flying out in the armoury. I dread to think. Right, let's talk about our opponents today. Wolves, actually. I think they've been really hard done by this season. A lot of people are saying this is the VAR derby. Us against Wolves because both teams.
Because we're hard done by.
Because we've been hard done by and they've been hard done by.
Well, I'm a bit worried about this because they you feel like they're bound to get a big decision. But I wanted Wolves are mid-table, okay, and everyone's predicting we're going to win the game, and I think we'll win the game. But have a look at some of the numbers here in the brackets. That's Premier League rankings. So first and foremost, they're aggressive. No one wins possession back more often than Wolves. Duels, 50-50s. They're the second highest in the Premier League. So they are strong, and they will look to win the ball and unsettle us at every opportunity. What do when they win it? They break really, really quickly. No team, this is really impressive, no team has had more shots from fast breaks in the top flight this season. And why are they so good at those breaks? They've got a lot of flair. A lot of players that are quick, that love to run with the ball at their feet. Matheus Cunha is a clear example. I think he's ranked third behind Jeremy Doku at City and Eze at Palace, two of the best dribblers we've seen in many years. He's the next in line. So Gary O'Neill took over a very boring Wolves team. Awful last season, couldn't score. So after 13 games this time last year, they'd scored 6 goals. Now they've scored 18. So they've trebled their goal output. They're more exciting. They go for it. They're not defensive. They will have to be defensive at times today, but their mentality is to go out and outscore the opposition because they're not that good at the back. They're missing a couple of central midfielders through suspension today as well. So I think we can definitely slice them open and create chances, but they have got players. Hwang is another one. We'll get to him a little bit later, but they've got players that can hurt us if we're off it, and hopefully we're not.
So hopefully, you know, and I say this kind of with a pinch of salt, but hopefully it means because they're a team that try to score, it won't be a bit of a boring low block, you know. Basically, it won't be us against Brentford the other day.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, hopefully we haven't tempted fate.
Yeah, touch wood.
They haven't been like that. They have beaten Man City. They did beat Spurs, but against Spurs, they had like 20 odd shots. Against City...
But they get battered everywhere they go.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to beat Spurs, isn't it? But they did beat Man City. They don't have that many shots. They're pretty clinical in that game. But yeah, they won't park the bus and get everyone behind the ball like some teams do, but they will also make life difficult. They'd be silly not to. Gary O'Neill was a smart guy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about him because I feel like, again, really hard done by at Bournemouth. I didn't think he deserved to lose his job, and he's kind of come in at Wolves and he's done really well.
Yeah, do you anyone remember the Bournemouth? Well, we all remember the Bournemouth game last year, but they scored after...
Yeah, it was quick.
9 seconds, something like that.
It's crazy.
From the kickoff. Yeah. But it was a training ground move, wasn't it? He's a clever guy. I remember I used to interview him regularly when he was a player, and you could tell even at that early age that he was really loves football, and he's taken that into his coaching, and I think Wolves have picked up a really good manager. The fans love him at Wolves. Wolves fans are down there. They love him because they've had such a dull team for so long, and he's at least bringing a little bit of a positive sort of outlook and mindset. It means that they're easier to score against, but they're also a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah, would you say this is kind of the most entertaining Wolves team we've seen since kind of Nuno when he was kind of...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So, I mean, we beat them, didn't we, on the last day of last season. I think they'll be a lot better today than that day. But I also think we can create chances.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. Well, you've mentioned the Wolves danger man already. He scored against us here. Was it 2 or 3 seasons? I remember we were in the press box, me and you. And he was down that end, and it was a great finish.
Yeah, because they haven't really got a fixed centre forward, but he's like a guy that can play up front, can play on the wing, can play sort of in number 10 as well, Hwang Chan. But he's lethal. He's quick. So he's quick. He's a little bit like Jesus in the box. He'll chop the ball past defenders to open up space for himself. His chance conversion rate this season, Hwang, is 41.5%. So almost 1 in 2 shots go in. Our best player in terms of conversion rate is Eddie Nketiah with 25%. So look, he's a guy that you don't want to be giving too many opportunities to Hwang today. Hopefully, he'll all be at the other end of the pitch and he'll be quiet. But if he gets a chance, he's decent.
Yeah, defensively we've been so good though, haven't we? That's kind of like the trade-off. You know, at the back we have been illustrious.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we love the centre backs, don't we? I mean, it's a great partnership.
I think it's the favourite. I think for most Arsenal fans, this is their favourite centre back pairing since you know, the famous flat-back four. You know,
what we were talking? Kolo Touré?
No, I'm talking. I think since Adams and
really
Adams and Bold.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the
people love Saliba. They
love
him.
Yeah.
If it was Saliba on his own, people would probably say the same thing.
Yeah, we worship at the Church of Saliba, don't we?
Honestly,
no, he's a great player. I think he's got potential to be the best defender in the world, no doubt about that. And yeah, long may he continue to wear our shirt.
Yeah. Right, the teams are in the tunnel here at Emirates Stadium that is starting to fill out, and it's bitterly cold as well. So, you know, I'm not surprised people are taking the maximum amount of time in the stands, having a drink and maybe having some food. But we're going to get a stat trick from you, Clarke, just before we hand down to our commentary team.
Yeah, look, we kept the most clean sheets and conceded the fewest goals. I touched on this at the top of the show. Of any Premier League side this season, we are basically the best defensive team in the league at the moment, which sounds good to me. We've scored in our last. This could jinx. I hope this is not a jinx. We've scored in our last 31 meetings with Wolves in all competitions, dating back to 1979. I was very young in 1979, so that's a long time ago. Since losing 1-0 on the opening day to United, Wolves have scored in every game though. So look, they will come with an attacking mentality and they will expect to score. Both teams have scored in every match for Wolves, apart from that opening day win against defeat against Manchester United. So this might be a 2-1 or a 3-1 if we prevail, which we all hope we do.
Yeah, and I think we will. Right, let's have a look at the breakdown live FPL standings.
Oh, yes, please.
We haven't done this for a while. Clarkie's top of the league, but look, I am motoring up on Dan Roebuck here. I feel like that needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, I mean,
I was miles behind.
Look, if you're happy about being 297th, that's your business. But,
I'll catch up with you eventually, Clarkie. Don't you worry about
31st.
that.
I mean, we've got a lot of people in our league, so I'm buzzing about that.
Yeah,
and I've got 3 Arsenal players in my team today, so hopefully they do the biz.
I would ask you who you've got, but the teams are just emerging from the tunnel.
There you go.
Okay, you're right. Adrian, Clarke, thank you very much. Right, thank you to our studio audience as well. Right, the teams emerging from the tunnel here at Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the company of Nigel Winterburn. But first, Dan Roebuck.
Many thanks. Well, Arsenal aim to extend their leads at the top of the Premier League table to 4 points this afternoon, with Wolves the visitors to a very cold North London. The Gunners' last gasp win over Brentford, plus the 6-0 thrashing of Lens in midweek in the Champions League, means there is plenty of momentum behind Mikel Arteta's side, and Arsenal have won all of their last 4 meetings with the Molineux side, including a 5-0 triumph when we last locked horns back in May. However, the Gunners will still need to be wary of Gary O'Neill's new look side, who have already upset a league leader this season in the shape of Manchester City, in which they defeated 2-1 back in September. And they have recorded fair results against the likes of Newcastle and Tottenham already this term. Nigel, there is no room for complacency today.
No, there isn't. I think that this Wolves team are technically very good. They counter-attack very quickly. Arsenal need to be at their very best, but if we put on an attacking display like we did in midweek, then we should come away with a victory. But also, as we just said, we shouldn't underestimate Wolves at all.
Just a reminder of the team news. It's been discussed upstairs already, but if you are just joining us, one change from midweek for the Gunners. Leandro Trossard is the player who comes in for Kai Havertz. It means that Arsenal line up like this: David Raya in goal, back 4 from left to right of Zinchenko, Gabriel, William Saliba and Tomiyasu, a midfield trio of Trossard,